Hello and welcome to a very special deep dive, one we've designed just for you. We are so thrilled to have you joining us today on Native Year.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jordan, your English instructor for this session. We know that just memorizing vocabulary lists, well, it's only the first step, isn't it?
It really is. To become truly fluent, you need to hear language and practice it inside a real story, a real context.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do today. We'll break down every useful phrase slowly and clearly so you don't just hear the English, but you really understand how to use it in your own life.
That's right. Our focus in this deep dive is on analyzing a complete English situation. It's a short story about a woman named Rachel Carter, and we're going to pull out the most natural, real-life conversational phrases.
Think of this as a shortcut to sounding more natural. We're moving beyond the basics to look at how American English speakers, connect words to create meaning in real time.
We're covering everything: daily routines, friendly teasing, even professional feedback, and how to set boundaries when you need to.
And by the end of this, you will have some clear, real-life results. You'll be able to use common phrases like lazy bones, for example.
Oh, that's a good one. Or catch up when you see an old friend.
Or even same old. Phrases that will immediately help you sound more like a native speaker. We'll make sure you can take these phrases and apply them right away.
Okay, so before we jump into Rachel's story, let's get you thinking. Think about your own morning routine. What is one thing you always do to start your day?
Maybe you grab coffee or check your phone.
Or take a quick walk. Just think of that one action. And later today, try to share your answer with someone in English.
That's a wonderful starting point for conversation practice. It forces you to use those daily action verbs.
And as always, before we begin, please take just a moment to like, subscribe, and share the Native Year channel. It helps your family and friends find these useful lessons.
Your support really does allow us to create this kind of detailed content for you, focusing purely on real-life application.
Okay, wonderful. Let's set the scene. We are about to dive into the life of Rachel Carter. She's a graphic designer, and we're going to follow her through a pretty routine day that, well, it has a surprising and unsettling ending.
And this story is great because it provides excellent examples of simple, natural American English across so many different situations: home, friends, work, and even public places.
Let's start with her morning. It begins very peacefully. We begin with the description of Rachel's morning. I want you to listen closely as I read the opening lines slowly. The sunlight peeked through the curtains as Rachel Carter opened her eyes. It was the start of a new day.
Okay, let's unpack that. That first phrase is such a lovely visual description. The sunlight peeked through the curtains.
I love that verb, peeked. It's so specific. What's the real difference between saying that and, just saying the sun came through?
That's an excellent question. The verb to peek here means to appear just slightly, or to just start coming through something that's partially closed. It implies a soft, gentle, gradual entrance.
So it gives a sense of peace, maybe? Not a harsh burst of light?
Exactly. It suggests the curtains were mostly closed, but the light found a small opening. For practical use, you can use peeked through to describe anything that's just barely visible.
Like if you saw a cat's head just coming out of a box.
Perfect example. The cat's head peeked through the box. Or you could say, I saw her head peek through the crowd. It makes your description so much more specific than just using a word like see.
That detail really helps build a picture in your mind. Okay, the story continues, describing her apartment. Looking around her neat little apartment, everything was in its place just the way she liked it.
Let's focus on that simple but really effective phrase. Everything was in its place.
It sounds so simple, but it's a perfect way to describe a tidy space without just saying neat.
Precisely. In American English, when we say that, we mean two things. First, the space is organized. And second, all the items are exactly where they should be. It conveys a really high level of organization.
I can imagine someone saying that with a sense of relief, maybe, after cleaning for hours.
Absolutely. You walk into your room after organizing it and you just sigh and say, finally, everything is in its place. It's a very concise way to communicate order.
Okay, so moving into her morning ritual, we get this quick sequence of actions. I'll read them again slowly, and you should pay attention to the verbs. She got out of bed, put on her slippers, and headed to the kitchen. As the coffee brewed, she took a quick shower.
This little sequence gives us 4 excellent high-frequency phrases that you can use every single morning. If you master these 4, your English will immediately sound more native.
Let's start with the first 2. Got out of bed, and then the phrasal verb, put on her slippers.
Right. Got out of bed is a simple transition. It's direct. But the second one, the phrasal verb put on, is essential. It means to start wearing something. We use it for clothes, shoes, makeup, anything you apply to your body.
So when I get ready for work, I put on my shirt, and what's the opposite?
The opposite is take off. So she took off her slippers before getting into the shower. It's so important for learners to hear these as single units, not separate words.
Got it. Now, instead of saying she went to the kitchen, the story uses headed to the kitchen.
Headed to is a very natural and relaxed substitute for went to. It implies movement toward a destination. It's just a bit less formal, which makes it perfect for describing daily routines.
Can I use headed to at work? Like if I'm leaving a meeting, can I say, I'm heading to my next appointment now?
Absolutely. It's relaxed, but it's still perfectly appropriate in a business setting. I'm heading to the airport later. It communicates immediate, definite movement.
And finally, the last action phrase. Took a quick shower.
This is a fixed combination in English, a collocation. We don't make a shower or do a shower, we take a shower. And adding quick just emphasizes that it didn't take a long time.
Can you give us another example of a collocation so our listeners really get it?
Of course. Think about chores. We make the bed, we don't do the bed, but we do the dishes, we don't make the dishes. Using the right verb with the right noun is just crucial for sounding natural.
So Rachel's routine is then interrupted by a phone call. It's from her friend Katie, who is described as vibrant and full of energy, the total opposite of quiet, organized Rachel.
And this dialogue is just full of casual, affectionate language. Listen to Katie's opening line. It's designed to tease Rachel, which is a big part of social bonding in English.
Katie says, "Mornin' lazy bones. Up yet, or are you still daydreaming?"
Okay, that first phrase we need to analyze is lazy bones. This is a wonderful example of playful teasing.
It's an idiom, right? Her bones aren't literally lazy.
Exactly. It describes the person as lazy. But the tone is so important. You would never, ever say this to your boss.
Definitely not. So this is only for close friends or family.
That's the critical distinction. It has to be said with a warm, playful tone. It's common between parents and kids or between old friends. If you say it jokingly, it shows warmth and humor.
It sounds like it's mostly for when someone is being a bit slow to get going, especially in the morning.
Precisely. You could tap your friend on the shoulder and say, "Come on, lazy bones, breakfast is ready." It just lightens the mood.
Then Katie asks a very short question. Up yet?
This is classic, shortened, casual American English. The full sentence would be something like, "Are you awake and out of bed already?"
But no one really talks like that with friends.
Not really. In casual conversation, we shorten it to up yet. It's efficient, and it's extremely common.
So if I get a text at 7 a.m. that just says, up yet, I know what they're asking.
You do. And Rachel's reply is a great way to acknowledge the teasing. She says, "Barely, but I'm up."
Barely is the key word there. It means just now or with difficulty. She's using it humorously, basically saying, yes, I am awake, but only just. It keeps the conversation light and playful.
Okay, so now the friends shift to making plans. Katie says, "I'm off today and was thinking, how about we meet up for lunch? It's been a while since we caught up in person."
We have 3 really valuable phrases here. First up, I'm off today.
Such a simple, clear way to say you're not working. Yes. It means I don't have to work today. And it's so versatile. You can be off for a day, a week, or just the afternoon. It's much more concise than saying, I have a vacation day.
Next, the phrase for the activity itself, meet up for lunch.
Meet up is a relaxed, casual way to arrange a social meeting. It sounds much friendlier than just meet. Meet up really emphasizes the informal, social nature of the get-together.
And the most important phrase here, I think, is since we caught up in person.
This is a vital phrasal verb, catch up. It has a couple of meanings, but here it's the social one. It means to talk about what's been happening in each other's lives after you haven't seen each other for a while.
So what's the other meaning, the work-related one?
Right. Socially, you catch up with friends. At work, you catch up on tasks you missed. If you were sick, you might say, I need to catch up on all my emails.
That's a great distinction, and Katie specifically adds, in person.
Yes, in person. It just means face-to-face, not over the phone or video. That distinction has become so important lately, hasn't it?
It really has. Okay, so Rachel agrees, but being the organized professional she is, she sets the limit. She says, lunch sounds good, actually. I could use a break from work. Perfect. But don't expect me to stay out too long. I still have to get back to work.
Let's first look at that softening phrase. I could use a break.
Why say that instead of just, I need a break?
Well, it's about politeness and tone. I need a break can sound a little blunt, a little urgent, but I could use a break is gentler. It suggests a break would be beneficial or appreciated.
So it makes the statement sound less like a demand and more conversational.
Exactly. You can use it for anything. I could use a cup of coffee, or I could use some help with this. Now, let's look at how she sets the boundary. Don't expect me to stay out too long.
This is so clear and polite, but also assertive.
It's the perfect way to manage the other person's expectations right away. She's telling Katie clearly that lunch has a time limit. It's a sign of really good communication.
This is so important for work-life balance. Speaking of which, let's follow Rachel into her office. Rachel is now at her office. She's a graphic designer, and she likes her job and the quiet atmosphere. I'll read the description of the office. By 9 a.m., Rachel was at her office. The office was quiet most of the time, which suited her perfectly. Rachel's desk was neat.
Let's analyze that verb phrase, which expresses her preference so cleanly. Suited her perfectly.
Why use suited instead of something like worked for her? Is there a difference?
Suited is a slightly more elegant way to say that something is convenient or appropriate for someone. When we say the quiet office suited her perfectly, we mean it matched her personality and work style exactly.
So it implies a perfect fit.
A perfect fit, complete compatibility. You could say, that color really suits you, or working from home suits my lifestyle.
The narrative then tells us what she was doing. She was focused on her latest project, a logo design for a local business.
Focused on her latest project. To be focused means giving all your attention to something. And latest project just means her most recent work assignment. Your latest project as a learner might be mastering these phrases.
Her boss, Mr. Johnson, then walks by and gives her some simple, positive feedback. The interaction is very brief but professional. He says, "Good work on the latest design, Rachel. Keep it up."
And she replies, "Thank you, Mr. Johnson." And the story notes, she appreciated his straightforwardness. Let's start with his feedback. Keep it up.
That has to be one of the easiest and most encouraging phrases for learners to use. It's so short and positive.
It's fantastic. It means continue doing the good job you are doing. It encourages you to keep going.
And can anyone use it? Or just a boss?
Anyone. If your friend is training for a marathon, you can say, "You're doing great, keep it up." Or a teacher to a student, it's all about encouraging that continuous positive behavior.
Rachel appreciates his words, but specifically his straightforwardness. What does that mean?
Straightforwardness is a noun that describes someone who is direct, honest, and easy to understand. They don't use hidden meanings or confusing language. They just get to the point.
So someone who isn't straightforward might be beating around the bush.
Exactly. Mr. Johnson's straightforwardness means his communication is clear and efficient. In a professional setting, that's almost always seen as a positive quality.
Next, Rachel interacts with Tom, who is described as the office chatterbox.
Let's pause on that term, office chatterbox.
It's such a colorful, informal way to describe a personality type, isn't it?
It really is. A chatterbox is just someone who talks a lot, often about unimportant things, what we call small talk. It's usually an affectionate term.
Tom starts the small talk. "Hey, Rachel, how's the logo coming along?"
How's it coming along? This is one of the most natural ways to ask about the progress of a task. The phrasal verb coming along just means progressing or developing.
It's so much smoother than asking something formal like, "What is the status of the logo?"
Much smoother. You're just asking for a general update. And Rachel's reply is also very natural. She says, "It's almost done. I just need to tweak the colors a bit."
Let's focus on that verb, to tweak.
Yeah.
That sounds like it means making very small changes.
It does. To tweak is an excellent professional verb. It means to make small, final adjustments. It implies the main work is finished, and now you're just refining the little details.
So if I adjust the sound settings on my phone just a little bit, I'm tweaking them.
Exactly. It's not a major change. It's a slight refinement. It implies precision.
Tom then praises Rachel's work ethic. He says, "You're always so focused. How do you stay on track all the time? I get distracted by everything."
He gives us a great idiom there related to productivity. Stay on track.
It makes me think of a train on its tracks.
That's the perfect image. The idiom means to remain focused on your goal and not get diverted or delayed. If you stay on track, you are moving forward towards finishing your project.
And the opposite of that is what Tom says he does. He gets distracted.
Right. To get distracted means to lose focus. And notice how he says, "I get distracted by everything." That use of is very common in casual spoken English. It's a filler word that softens his exaggeration.
And Rachel just gives a simple, encouraging reply. I'm sure you'll get your project done in time.
That brings us to lunch, where we shift from a professional setting back to a casual one. So Rachel meets Katie for lunch. Katie, who is more dramatic, is already there and jokes about Rachel being late. She says, I was starting to think you wouldn't make it. How's your day going?
That phrase, I was starting to think, is a really common conversational filler. It's a friendly way of saying, I was a little worried you were late, but I'm glad you're here.
And Rachel asks back, how's your day going? An essential piece of small talk.
It really is. And remember, we're usually looking for a short, general answer. And Katie gives a perfect example of that, one that shows she's a bit bored.
She replies, and the story says she's sighed dramatically. She says, H, same old, work's boring. Let's analyze that phrase, same old, same old. It's so useful in conversation.
If someone says this, what does it tell you about how they're feeling?
It's an informal idiom that means nothing new is happening, or everything is routine and maybe a little boring. It usually has a slightly negative or tired feeling to it.
So it's a polite way of saying, I don't have any exciting news.
Exactly. If your coworker asks how your weekend was and you say, same old, you're saying it was predictable. It's a conversational shortcut.
And that descriptive phrase, sighed dramatically, also tells us so much about Katie's personality.
It does. She's making a big, obvious show of her boredom to get a reaction from Rachel.
So Katie tries to make more plans. She invites Rachel shopping, and I'll read their exchange. I'm planning to go shopping after this. Want to come with me?
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel says, you always want to go shopping. I really need to get back to work after lunch, maybe this weekend.
This is so important for learners because it shows the structure of a polite, soft refusal. It's how you say no without damaging the friendship. Rachel does it in 3 steps.
Okay, let's break it down. With step 1, the observation.
She starts with, you always want to go shopping. It's a friendly, humorous observation that acknowledges Katie's personality. It softens the no that's coming.
Step 2 is the clear reason.
Correct. I really need to get back to work. Using really emphasizes that it's a serious obligation. It's not personal.
And step 3, which is maybe the most important part for the friendship, is the counteroffer.
Right. She says, maybe this weekend. By offering another time, she shows that she does want to see Katie, just not right now. That structure, observation, reason, counteroffer is perfect for polite negotiation.
And Katie responds with more teasing, you're such a workaholic.
Workaholic, another great piece of informal vocabulary. It's a term for someone who works too much. Katie uses it playfully to acknowledge why Rachel is saying no.
Katie then asks about Rachel's evening plans because it's Friday night. So any plans tonight, or are you going to spend another quiet evening at home?
And this comment perfectly sets up Rachel's response, which highlights her very routine lifestyle.
Rachel's answer is very honest. I actually have to go grocery shopping. You know my exciting life.
Let's focus on that sarcastic use of my exciting life. This is all about understanding tone.
Grocery shopping is, well, it's not very exciting.
Exactly. Rachel is using sarcasm. She's saying the opposite of what the words literally mean for humorous effect. She means, my life is clearly not exciting right now.
And Katie gets the joke and plays along. She laughs and says, grocery shopping on a Friday night? You really know how to live.
You really know how to live. This phrase is almost always used sarcastically. It's a gentle way of teasing someone for doing something boring. If your friend tells you they're spending Saturday cleaning their house, you could say, wow, you really know how to live. It's a way of sharing a joke about how boring adult life can be sometimes.
This completes the casual, friendly part of our story. But now Rachel leaves lunch, and the mood changes dramatically, which requires a completely different kind of English. Rachel goes grocery shopping that evening. She's back in her routine, focused on her list, but then something unexpected and unsettling happens. She noticed someone standing too close to her, feeling the hairs on her neck stand up.
So now we shift to language used to describe fear and discomfort. This is crucial vocabulary for intense emotional states. First, that physical reaction, feeling the hairs on her neck stand up.
That's a really powerful idiom. It describes a very primal, immediate fear.
It is. It's an idiom for a physical reaction to fear or extreme unease. It suggests an instinctive, involuntary response, like an animal sensing danger. It means Rachel had a strong gut feeling that something was wrong.
The story then says something unsettling happened.
The word unsettling is much stronger than just strange. It means it's causing nervousness or anxiety. An unsettling silence or an unsettling look from someone implies that something is wrong, but you can't quite identify what it is yet.
And this leads to that classic description of intuition. An uneasy feeling in her stomach grew stronger.
This is a natural bodily description of intuition, that feeling that something is wrong without any logical proof. We often call it a gut feeling. Trusting this feeling becomes so important for Rachel.
So, despite her discomfort, she's confronted by this man who asks a polite question. But the narrator notes his tone was a bit too eager. He says, "Excuse me, do you know if these bananas are fresh?"
This is a really important moment. The man is using simple, polite language about bananas to try and engage her, but his true intentions are hidden. The description "too eager" is the signal that his words don't match his motivation.
And Rachel gives a very polite but very brief reply. "I'm not sure."
This is an excellent technique in an uncomfortable situation. She uses "I'm not sure" to give the shortest, most neutral answer possible. She's not being rude, but she is clearly showing she does not want to continue the conversation.
Why not just ignore him completely?
Well, sometimes in a public place, ignoring someone can actually make the situation more tense. By giving a neutral, evasive answer like that, she avoids being rude, but still communicates that the conversation is over.
But the man continues to follow her, asking, "You come here often?" This is such a common small talk phrase, but in this context, it feels threatening.
It does, and her stress is escalating. She gets to the parking lot and realizes she has to stop running and do something. She decides to use assertive language.
She turns around to confront him. The story notes her voice was stronger than she felt. She asks him, "Can I help you?"
In this specific context, "can I help you?" is not an offer of help. It's a challenge.
Oh, I see. So the meaning completely changes with the tone.
Completely. Here it's a demand for an explanation. It forces him to justify why he's there, why he's approaching her. It's assertive, defensive language.
The man becomes defensive, but Rachel doesn't back down. She makes a very clear statement. "I don't know you, and I don't appreciate you following me."
Let's focus on the power of that structure. I don't appreciate action. This is a strong, firm, and clear phrase to express your dissatisfaction or anger. It's direct, but it maintains a certain level of formal control.
It's much more controlled than just yelling, "Stop following me."
Exactly. It conveys serious anger without losing composure. You can use this phrase to set boundaries in any situation. If a coworker keeps interrupting you, you can say, "I don't appreciate being interrupted." It's very powerful.
The man immediately tries to dismiss her fear. He says, "You're overreacting."
You're overreacting. This is a crucial phrase to understand. It's often used to deny fault and minimize someone else's legitimate fear or anger. It's dismissive. It's an attempt to put the blame back on Rachel.
It sounds like a tactic to make her doubt herself.
That's precisely what it is. But before things can escalate, her neighbor, Mike, arrives, and he intervenes with a very simple, direct question. "Everything okay here?"
That sounds almost too simple. What makes it so powerful?
It's powerful because of its clarity and its neutrality. It signals to everyone that a third party is now present and observing the situation, ready to help. The presence of a witness is often enough to make an aggressor back down. If you ever see a situation that makes you uneasy, using this phrase is a safe and effective way to intervene.
The man walks away, and Rachel says, "Thank you." Mike just replies, "No problem. Glad I was here." Just simple, common phrases of gratitude and assistance. We have now gone through Rachel's entire day. We've moved from light, informal language with friends to professional language at work, all the way to assertive language in a stressful situation. Let's recap what we've learned.
We learned several categories of phrases today, and it's really about knowing the context for where to apply them.
Right, so for friendly, informal teasing, we learned lazy bones, which you only use with close family or friends.
Correct. And for a casual update when you have no news, we learned that great filler. Same old, same old.
In the workplace, we picked up, keep it up, for that simple, immediate encouragement.
And that very precise verb, to tweak, which means to make small, final adjustments.
And maybe most importantly, for setting strong, clear boundaries, we learned the structure. I don't appreciate action.
And remember, the real lesson isn't just knowing the phrases, it's understanding the context and the tone. Using them in the right situation is what will make you sound truly natural.
So Rachel drives home, thinking about what happened. She realized she had always felt safe in her daily routine, but tonight had been a reminder things can change in an instant, and she realizes she must never take her safety for granted again.
Let's analyze that phrase, to take something for granted. This is an abstract concept, but it's a very important one in English.
What does it mean exactly to take something for granted?
It means you fail to properly appreciate something because you're just so used to it being there. You assume it will always be there, so you stop noticing how valuable it is.
Like taking your good health for granted until you get sick.
That's a perfect example. Rachel had taken her routine feeling of safety for granted because her life was so predictable. This phrase reminds us to appreciate what we have.
She then promises herself that she would always trust her instincts.
To trust her instincts just means to believe that natural, immediate feeling, your gut feeling, that tells you if something is right or wrong. Her instinct told her the man was a threat, and listening to that feeling was the right thing to do.
And the story ends with a very famous proverb. It's better to be safe than sorry.
This is a perfect final phrase for you to learn because it summarizes the entire emotional lesson of the story.
What's the meaning of better to be safe than sorry?
It's a common idiom that means it's wise to take precautions, even if they seem unnecessary, just to avoid possible future problems. Rachel acted to protect herself, even though the man said she was overreacting. By acting, she avoided a bigger danger. So the proverb just encourages caution and being prepared. It advises you to be prudent.
That is a wonderful, applicable final thought that really ties the whole narrative together. And with that, we have completed our deep dive into Rachel's day. We've extracted valuable, simple language from casual greetings, professional chat, and critical, assertive situations.
And remember, consistency really is the key. Practice repeating these short phrases and sentences. Focus on the simple structures we talked about today, and you'll begin to apply English naturally in your own life.
We really hope you enjoyed this deep dive on the Native Year channel. We hope this lesson helps you feel more confident and prepared in your English speaking.
Thank you so much for allowing us to guide you through this lesson on language in real-life context.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this lesson with family and friends who are also learning English. We look forward to diving deep with you again very soon.
Goodbye for now, and happy learning.